All right, man, we back, man. I'm D. That's X. Transfer Portal Volume 3. Check me out. Coke Dog. Shout out to Coke Dog, man. Member of the week. Shout out to Coke Dog, man. We're gonna have to start putting some glitters on them letters or something, man. We gotta get a little party, little emojis or something going on for the Member of the Week. Spice this thing up a little bit. Shout out to Reed Law Group, man, and shout out to Lorna's, man. When last time what last thing you ate at Lorna's? Coke soup?
No, last time I came, I had some oxtails.
Oxtails?
Yeah.
Man, Lorna's got some of the best food in South Florida, bro. Y'all come out, check out Lorna's, man. We here on 199th and 27th Avenue, right behind Denny's. Food better than Denny's, so it's way better than Denny's.
Way better.
Way better than Denny's. But listen, man, transfer portal, man. Transfer portal's still hot. And we were just sitting here debating. I was just looking at Florida State enrollees. Florida State recruiting class, basically. Florida State got 17 kids, right? They brought in 8 transfer from the transfer portal. I think Miami brought in how many?
3.
3 from the transfer portal?
Yeah.
Florida
got 5.
And Florida got 5. I was talking to somebody yesterday, and they said, listen, man, Western Kentucky told us that they were no longer taking high school seniors. And you know everything always starts on the small end. The small schools always make the drastic decisions first. That's what I was told. I was told that they said it wasn't taking high school seniors more. You know what I'm saying? I was told that if I'm wrong, all right, man, got me, shoot me, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I was told that they said they weren't taking no more high school seniors. And I'm saying that to say that we've been talking about this transfer portal for a while now. And where college football is going. And I tell you over and over again, college football is creating a pool of kids where the parity can be across the board. Now, you got Alabama, Georgia, they all out-recruit everybody. And everybody say, listen, they out-recruit everybody, they got bigger bags, they got more resources, whatever it is. But now college football is saying, we'll be better off if San Diego State could compete with Ohio State, or if North Carolina State could compete with Clemson. If we had more parity, and how we'll do that is that we'll give you guys a second shot at some 5 and 4 stars. So if you don't win them in recruiting, we'll give you a second shot. You know what I'm saying? At some 5 and 4 stars. And this is definitely pushing the high school kids down. You know what I'm saying? The high school kids are down. That's another conversation. We'll have that later. It's definitely pushing the high school kids like out of conversation. But on the NCAA, with the NCAA and college football, like, it's creating parity. It's creating a pool of kids that they can pull from. And I think what we're going to see is, you got Miami took 3 this year. Florida State took 8. I think those numbers are going to start to shift to where it's going to be like 12 transfer portal kids, 6 high school kids. You understand what I'm saying? But my question is, y'all let us know in the comment section below, do y'all think you could sustain this? You got to think about it now. Can you sustain that way without developing kids in your system? Just keep pulling kids out the portal, putting them in your system 1 or 2 years? Because Tyrese Stevenson said he coming what?
When he coming to play and go to the league.
Coming to play and he gone.
Yeah, one and done.
So you fill a void with a cornerback and then you lose a cornerback.
So now that's where you lose at, because if they're gonna stick to this 25 scholarship limit per year, now the turnover from your roster is gonna hurt. Your depth is gonna hurt. If you lose our cornerback situation, if we lose our 3 cornerbacks, now we got 2-3 cornerbacks who have no game experience.
Right.
And then you don't get them scholarships back because them scholarships counted. So
say again, you said if we lose cornerbacks in the draft this year, right? Or they leave, and you're saying now that you don't have anything. Say it again.
Basically, the turnover with the roster, the depth issue. Okay, you don't go recruit no cornerbacks for next year, then you just have to get some out the portal. Then you still have depth issues because you still only got 3 scholarship cornerbacks. You only get 25 scholarships per year, so
So you're saying
your depth. One injury, now you
So you get
crazy.
25 scholarships, right? How many players can you pull out the portal?
I mean, as long as you got scholarships available, you can pull them out.
So you gotta have a scholarship available to fill a portal kid.
Yeah.
So and you're saying that Tyrese Stevenson come, we got 4 cornerbacks now, and he leaves, DJ Ivy leaves, Blay leaves, now you got 1 cornerback.
You got Corey Couch. That's depending on how good he
and
plays.
the other kid.
And then you got
the other kid.
Marcus Clark, Isaiah
Right.
Dunson, and Malik Curtis.
But you're saying now you still spend that cornerback. So you're saying what to that? You're saying that
I'm saying as far as depth. Because,
what's going to stop us from going to the transfer portal and pulling out 4 cornerbacks?
I mean, you can do that. And then what happens?
A sophomore, a junior.
And then what happens when one of them freshmen say, well, dang, they just, okay, y'all just going to keep pulling out? Okay, now I'm finna transfer. Now you got depth issues because you just going to keep pulling out transfers at corner.
You just pulled out 4. You pulled out a sophomore and 2 juniors that aren't ready to go to the NFL. Then next thing you go back, you pull out 3. See, because y'all think we're looking at it like you're gonna take Tyrese Stevenson, but you always gonna have to recruit a high school. You don't always have to recruit a high school kid, and that's what I'm saying. Like you go transfer portal and get 25 players with 30 games of experience collectively, and that's better off than getting.
All right, let me break it down a little simpler. Years ago, Mississippi State, when they was recruiting, they weren't going to get a bunch of high school kids. They was going to get kids straight out of JUCO every year. Now what happens after 2 years, their roster turnover becomes screwed because they kept going to get JUCO players. So they might get a JUCO player that's only coming for 1 year.
JUCO players only come for most of the time.
2 years. Depends if they graduate early, their first year. But most of the time it's 2 years. So if you getting that player, you recruiting, they leave. They turn over with their roster. Now they gotta sit and develop a true freshman who coming out of high school again.
So DeMarcus Bowman, running back out of where was he? Lakeland. Jumped in the transfer portal.
Yeah.
What was he?
He was a freshman. I mean, you talk about like the top running back in the nation last year, probably something like that.
Our lineman, Isaiah
Walker.
Huh?
Isaiah Walker.
Walker jumped in the transfer portal. What was he?
Freshman.
We can keep doing this? There's freshmen in the transfer portal, big dog.
Yeah.
There's freshmen in the transfer portal who ain't got nowhere to go.
I mean, like I said,
I know it's hard to let go.
No,
and then we give you a hug.
Until they change that.
Listen.
Until they look.
There's going to be freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors in the transfer portal.
As of now, they let everybody. They say, man, if you want to transfer, go transfer now. You're gonna play right away. You ain't got to sit here.
Right.
Next year, you got to sit here until they change that.
Until they change it.
So as of now, I'm good for it. Go transfer, get out of there.
I'm finna go on my Nostradamus prediction.
Until they change that,
I'm gonna make a Nostradamus prediction. When you run something, when you're in control of something, you gotta protect it. And when we sit down at the table, we're not sitting down at the table about what's gonna happen next year. They sitting down at the table about what's gonna happen the next 10 years. My Nostradamus prediction. These things that they see the NCAA doing because of COVID, we think it's because of COVID. It's just pilot tests, man. They just testing to see how that's gonna work. Where that kids transferring wherever they want to transfer and playing when they want to plan for is gonna be a thing in the next 3 years.
All right,
That restriction is gone.
I noticed like earlier you were saying like basically recruiting is gonna go down the drain. Now I think that's. They paying them recruiting sites a lot of money to go get all this information about kids and recruits.
What if one day they didn't have to? What if one day they didn't have to? But that's my prediction. I mean that's my prediction. I'm just looking at life as a whole. I know how big machines work, and that's what I foresee. I mean things start off slow. And then they snowball. Like you got a Florida story, right? What happened with Florida?
Yeah. So basically, Florida. They pretty much had they whole class set. They was waiting on one kid, but he ended up committing to Alabama. They ended up dropping 2 kids to get 2 kids out of the transfer portal.
They end up dropping 2 kids.
Yeah, to get some kids out of the transfer portal. And they did that like the day before signing day. So
Florida dropped some kids right before signing day.
Yeah, right before signing day.
Is that the real story, or it just look like that from outside looking in?
No, that's the real story.
For real?
Because the kid even came out and said, like, man, I didn't decommit from Florida. They dropped me. Like, he basically spilled it
That
out.
ain't funny. So what the kids end up going?
I don't even know. I didn't pay attention to his story, but
Yeah.
the kid that they did get was they got the top tight end from LSU,
right,
who just transferred. So now that's the dynamic that you're saying that it's going towards.
Right.
Schools basically saying, I don't need to recruit.
Right.
If I could get at least 15. 15 to 17 kids.
I'm a Dolphin fan, man. Super Bowl Sunday. That's the owner of Lorna's, man. Shout out to Matari, man. Strong black dude, owner of this beautiful place, man.
15 to 17 high school kids, and then you can use the other 8 scholarships you got available for transfer portal. That's basically what you're saying.
Right.
Some schools did that. Florida State, they basically stopped recruiting and say, man, look, come on, whatever transfer portal kid want to come on.
Right.
But we need it.
No, listen, I told you. Y'all let us know in the comment section below. Y'all think this is going to help University of Miami or hurt University of Miami? Y'all think it's going to hurt the bigger schools, top tier schools, or help the top tier schools? Because the top tier schools are still developing their kids, like you say. They're going to recruit. Nobody's jumping. You ain't jumping out the portal from Tulsa and transferring to Bama.
Definitely not. No.
You're not. Listen, but it's some straight ballers inside. There's some straight ballers inside the transfer portal. Lamar Mullins, 6'3" safety, man, killing out there. He in the transfer portal.
Man, it's still like almost 1,400 kids in the portal.
Huh?
It's still almost 1,400 kids in the portal.
Right. Just a pool of kids.
So you saying it's a quick fix for teams like Florida State?
Yeah, it's quick fix. Because one thing is, it's coming to what coaches don't want to. Coaches' jobs on the line, so they saying, well, we got to win now. Instead of developing high school kids for 2 or 3 years, let me go get some kids who played in college. Maybe they can help us win now. If they help us win now, I keep my job. I can win 8 games instead of winning 4 games.
Right.
So that's what college coach is going to do.
Right.
But
here's my theory. I think, back what I was saying, does it help University of Miami? Like we was talking about before, Savion Collins, biggest, strongest kid on the field, just not. He hasn't played enough football to be on his homeboys Jalen Marshall and Corey Carter them level, because he didn't play with Richmond with them. He hasn't been playing for 6 years. Has to go to FIU, right? Maybe you give him a second chance. He eventually, when Savion gets developed a little bit, he jumps in the portal. He don't want to leave his mama still. He goes to UM. The kids, it still goes back to the location of Miami. At the end of the rainbow, top kids in the nation come out of South Florida. Those kids go off. Tyree Stevenson goes to Athens, Georgia, runs around that little small city for 2 years and like, hey man, I done seen the city a billion times. I'm ready to go back home. The kids that want to come back to Miami is Tyree Stevens. T2. The number 1 linebacker relation just went to Maryland. Probably first time being away from home ever. What if he jumps in the portal? He's going to maybe want to come back home. That's the benefit. That's still the recruiting benefit to South Florida. That South Florida going to have the edge over schools when it even comes to the transfer portal, because the kid that wants to come back home probably was a 4-star when he left. Just Miami the city, period. How do we get these kids from Cali? You know what I'm saying? Just Miami the city, period. But also, dog, what you got to understand, I've talked to a couple kids in the transfer portal. Those kids are sitting in that portal like no man's land. Like they feel they don't know what's next.
I mean, obviously you don't, because some schools are already at their limit of scholarships. So now it's like, dang, what should I do? Some schools actually have to wait till after spring to get extra scholarships.
Right.
Unless the NCAA just hurry up and say, okay, we're going to give everybody extra scholarships. Now, I wish they supposed to be did that, but that didn't happen. So now you get kids stuck in the portal saying, where should I go? I could go to either a small school or should I wait it out? Like,
Right.
you waiting out, you know what I'm saying? You still might not have your chance. So,
Right.
I mean, now these kids are making more of a life decision than picking their college of choice coming out of high school. Because now it's like, boy, this is now or never. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
listen, man. This is not. This is okay. This isn't new. Like it's something. It's not like something we haven't seen. Baseball created a minor league system a long time ago, and there's different levels to it. To the point where high school kids get drafted out of high school in baseball, and it's not even a big deal. You know what I'm saying? Because he's going to. Do they get paid right off the back in that first level of?
Yeah. Man,
Yeah.
once you sign a contract out of high school, you get
Just
paid.
not a lot of money.
Yeah, it's not me.
But to make it
might
to-
be $1 million, $2-3 million, because it's
Well,
first
I don't
round
think
pick.
they not to go to the minor leagues. They ain't getting.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
What you mean?
You gotta do some research on
First round, man.
I knew a homeboy who got signed from Miami, New Orleans when I was in high school. There was no millions.
Did he
involved.
get drafted or he
He
got
got
signed?
drafted.
Man, when it was,
Signed and maybe he
it was
got
three
signed.
players. It was 3 players from Pace that got drafted first round coming out of high school to major leagues.
I'm not talking about them though. I'm talking about the ones who.
Oh well, signed.
Yeah, the ones who signed-
That's free. That's a free agent contract. Of course,
Right.
they don't make that. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
and
But-
they go to, like I said, I had a homeboy that went to minor league, top Mississippi player, and he soon as he got there, he realized he didn't want it that bad. But what I was saying is we've seen these systems before. Like you can go be in the minor league system for years before you even get a sniff.
I mean, but then football is a lot different, man, because you got to look at the physicality of football as far as high school players' bodies aren't ready to go from high school to the NFL.
Right.
So even that, okay, you go to college, you got 4 years to go to college, 4 to 5 years. Now your body wear and tear.
Right.
Wear and tear on your body, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
so
but what
you don't
I'm-
have as many years as baseball or basketball.
But what I'm saying is, I'm saying that we've seen the system before. So that's not
Yeah,
like
yeah.
what we're seeing happening to college football, like we ain't seen it happen already. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're looking at it like, oh man, they're not gonna recruit high school kids no more. I mean, we just giving them our kids. They don't have to. They could just create a puppy mill of kids. If we could just go and like, just pick one.
I do agree when you say what's happening is they wanted to make it an even field, you know what I'm saying? So Chattanooga, hey, y'all transfer, go to Chattanooga because y'all play UM next year.
Right.
The game gonna be interesting. It ain't gonna be
Right.
no 60-something to 3 no more. It might be 35 to 30.
Right.
That might happen. But do them schools have the coaching? You know what I'm saying? Do they have the facilities to develop these players? You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
that's the only thing I get from that. But
Yeah, I would love to see the number of kids that Jamel Cooks that are walking around here can't get signed with anybody that really think they can still play. No, the number is probably astounding of the kids that get in trouble once, get in trouble twice out of college football, but they can still play. Those kids will now probably be in the transfer portal, and Western Kentucky can get 3 of them. And I think it's going to create parity in college football.
But you seeing Jackson State, they doing it. Deion Sanders over there, he doing it. Like he's swiping up the transfer portal. And he ain't getting he getting good players.
Yeah, I contacted Deion Sanders on Instagram the other day, and he was like, man, him and coach up on Twitter, man. Then he came up with a video right after that and was like, listen, we only got so many spots, to the point where like they full. he's full. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and just imagine now I would love to see that. A lot of the kids going HBCU. I love to see that. You know what I'm saying? Instead of the major universities keep getting all the talent. So
Yeah. I said that like it was nothing, huh? Like everybody could just hit Deion Sanders up. Nah, man, I'm football.
Yeah, you major, man. You Footballville.
On Footballville, I could DM Deion Sanders and Devin Hester every now and then. They may answer me back. Listen, man, let's get out of here, man. Make sure y'all like, share, join, and follow what we got going on, bro. Coke Dog, man, shout out to you, member of the week, man. Let us know in the comment section below. The transfer portal, man. Do you think it's gonna help the University of Miami or hurt the University of Miami from a depth standpoint? Let us know in the comment section below, man. We get up out of here Super Bowl Sunday, you gonna get some food or something.
It's gonna take 3 motherfucking things, and that's what? This nigga, one shit. time player.